In an age of endless information, the true advantage is not access, it is interpretation. Welcome to Aneke TV, where journalism goes beyond headlines, beyond reaction, beyond speculation. Here, stories are investigated, issues are analyzed, voices are challenged, because an informed society is a stronger society. A discerning audience is a powerful audience. We are live, daily broadcasting, relentless clarity. Aneke TV, where knowledge meets broadcast.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV, move with the world.
Need advert placements, coverage for events, or the latest news stories? Call 070-3043-7110 right now. Aneke TV, move with the world.
My name is Dr. Emmanuel Ihechi Asonye. I am the CEO of Omenka App LLC. I created Omenka App for the preservation of Igbo language and culture. Omenka App was established in New Mexico and it is headquartered in Albuquerque, but currently we are also being registered in Nigeria. We have a website. We are also on social media because my app is primarily for the Igbo community. In 2006, something significant happened among the Igbo community. UNESCO predicted that Igbo language was going to go into extinction, and that was because Igbo people are one of the most traveled people in the whole world. So the more children are born outside of Igbo land, the more they get disconnected. The app is on iOS, it's also on Android. Access the website and download the app from there. And over 2,000 people are using the app right now. But there's an app that will teach you about Igbo culture, Igbo people. We have Igbo poems, we have riddles and jokes, we have Igbo proverbs, then we have the word section where you are going to search Igbo words. Whatever word that you can find in English, you want to make sure it is found in the app in Igbo language. And I encourage everybody from their communities, you can do what we're doing in Omenka app with your own language and with your own culture. Do not allow your culture or your language to die.
Today, and the topic is the judiciary and the press. as the last hope of the common man. This assertion is generally believed that either of the two, all the two, both of them, is the last hope of the common man. And how true is it in the context of Nigeria, where we are having conflicting judicial interest in terms of court of coordinate jurisdiction giving opposite orders at the same time, and then we see that of the media, one reporting from this angle and another reporting from the opposite angle. We have seen that so many times, and it has all been very palatable. So is the press the last hope of the common man, or the judiciary, or both? So we are going to discuss on this issue today. I have in the studio, and like I said earlier, a man of many parts. He's also a farmer. That is, he chooses to be called a farmer, but we know that he's a human rights lawyer. We know that he holds so many things at different times. He plays so many parts. But I want to welcome you also, Barrister Nnadume Ofokansi, to our studios.
Thank you guys for having me this afternoon. Thanks to our viewers. It's a really hot afternoon here in Enugu, but we're managing to get by.
Thank you. You're welcome. So let me start immediately. We go straight to the point. What is the role of the judiciary in every organized society?
Well, the judiciary is just one arm of government. We have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. If you have to take them that descending order. The judiciary mainly interprets the laws, applies the laws as, legislated by the legislature, and to be implemented by the executive. So that is simply the definition of what judiciary is. But people, when we talk about judiciary, we often refer to courts. Of course, courts play the role of that arm of government. Ordinarily, all the arms ought to be independent of one another. None should ordinarily depend on the other, but they have to intermix and interact within themselves in equal dimensions. But today, you find out that many of them now kowtow to the executive for whatever they want. When they want cars, executive gives them. They want houses, the executive provide the accommodation. And there's another that says that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. If you hire a piper to play pipes for you, and he start playing his own choice, he said, no, I don't like this choice you're playing. Please play handle in C minor for me. I don't want this one you're playing. I don't want to believe. So that is the problem we are now faced with in the judiciary.
Yes, we'll come to the problem.
Yes.
So, and of course, even as a lawyer, you're very conversant with the media. And of course, we know that the press is captured by the Section 22 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. And we also know the role of the press, as holding government and the society accountable. So, what does this imply?
Well, you see, the press, they call themselves the third estate of the fourth estate of the realm. I think I do now believe that the press now play even a more important role than even the judiciary. The difference is that they don't have the coercive powers of the judiciary. The judiciary will convict you and tell you to go to jail. But press cannot tell you to go to jail. But press can rubbish you if they want to rubbish you. The worst you can do is to sue them for defamation. The role of the press in a democratic setting like Nigeria today cannot be, even in any setting, whether military, democratic, or whatever, cannot be overemphasized. With the introduction of social media, I think the press is playing a more significant role in every country of the world today than both the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary put together. Why do I say this? When Trump came for the first time in the United States of America as president, the usual thing from what you call him, Obama, is when Obama wants to do anything or when he has done anything, there's always message sent to all the media houses for a world conference, a world so they will just appear before the world press so that they can address the press. But when Trump got in, people were expecting him to organize world press conference or world press conferences. Oh, the man announced dishing out whatever he wants to tell us on Twitter. People say, which one is this? Because Trump changes a lot of things. So the first the executive order he made, he placed it on Twitter. Until many people now forgot about organizing world press conference, and the people turned to social media to now get the tip of Trump. And now, which one is his actual handle? Which one is the fake handle? People fake the handle. The ordinary original handle was there or is there, and the world now copied it. You can see now that scarcely do people even wait for world press conferences anymore. If people want to say anything now, you will just tweet the one in Anchor X. And from the Twitter, it will get to Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, everywhere. People start doing it up. That makes the news now. So I want to say that the position of the press for today has been more defined more than ever before in Nigeria. Things that were hitherto not said are now being said by the press. Things the conventional mainstream media has ever been afraid to say, today the social media now say it, and people rely on it. You can hear your president when he was campaigning, when they ask him what about social media, also I don't go to social media anymore, they have abused a lot of me. Like this, he is social media. So that tells you where press has placed itself today. Press has placed itself as an indomitable force. You see, I belong to two worlds. I belong to the the adjudicatory arm of government, which we find our daily bread in the judiciary, but that's where we go to work. Also, I'm a media man. I appear in very many media houses. I'm a social commentator. I'm a political analyst. I also discuss law. So it also places me before the press. Now, let me tell you why I say the press has taken over from both the executive, legislature, and judiciary. Now that people know I appear in press most of the time, and here in the press, we are not gagged. Because if we are gagged and say, don't say this, like the old mainstream media, you can always, blow a muted trumpet, we are blowing that you are covered in the mouth. But today, if my friends who are judges, for instance, when you become a judge, you move into another ladder in the judicial arm. Sometimes when I call them up for, like now that on Saturday they are doing the traditional marriage and wedding reception of my daughter, my only daughter in my village. When I call them up for to tell them, they are calling me, am I safe? I don't know what I'm saying. Yes. Because they know I have other avenue where I can ventilate whatever ill or goodness they have done, and that's in the press. Everyone who practices law just for the sake of practicing law or for the purpose of practicing law, who doesn't, have access to the press like I have, you can call them, they will answer your call and discuss with you freely. But they don't discuss with me freely anymore because they don't know which one they will tell me I will carry to the press the next day. That tells you, with press, a lot of people are sitting up. Nobody wants a press scandal. So that's why I said the fourth estate of the realm has carved itself out in this modern time as one of the major saviors of the downtrodden, because you say the last hope of the common. That's our topic today. Yes, you can see even when this woman was old, the Sochi was old by she alleged that Dave Umai was owing her about some hundreds of millions of naira, which she supplied during his campaign. She must have gone to lawyers who must have written letters to Dave Umai. They will ignore the letter. He may have filed action, I don't know, she may have filed action. But the action didn't give any fruit. But the very moment she came on social media, the thing took a different dimension. As we are speaking now, the said Umai has paid part of that money, and the lady has come to apologize to him for whatever embarrassment it has caused him during this media. So you can now see the impact of the media press I'm talking about. So press has now proven itself to be the last hope of the common man, simply because of the introduction of social media. Because you don't need specialized training to be a Rex, a journalist of old standing, to work in the social media. Everybody is a journalist by social media standard.
Oh yes.
You can write anything you like. Provided if you write the one that will drag you to court, you go to court and you pay. Because I seem to call one of the judgment that will be one of the high courts in here. When somebody was asked, he has maligned somebody online on Facebook, saying all sorts of rubbish against the person. The person now sued for defamation. You don't need anything to say it was published. It has been published because it's online. And he came to God and tell the judge that he's sorry, that he won't do it again. The judge now told him, if you go to any sandy area, go and collect sand in your hands, and then allow somebody to drive you. Don't drive. You can drive yourself if you are an expert, but allow somebody to drive you on at least on high speed. Open that your hand where you have that sand. Let the wind be blowing the sand out. When it finishes, clean your hand. Tell the driver to stop. Go back and start picking the sand one by one. It is impossible. You won't even know where they fell into. So that is what social media is like. What you have destroyed, the name and reputation of somebody have destroyed on social media. How do you start bringing them back? So I think it was awarded 100 million or 200 or something million to pay to the person he defamed. So that's why also I advise people to tread with caution in social media, because it is social media, it is open, it's in your phone, you are the journalist, you are the editor, you are the newscaster, you have everything on your own. But if you don't play it with caution, there is also a law, the cybercrime law and other related law, they are there to guide what you do. So in summary, what I'm saying is that social media has proven itself to be the last hope of the common man. Because you don't need to pay any media house now to come and air you or ventilate yourself in any wrong done to you by anybody under the social media.
Yeah, the press has, shown itself. And how does both the activities of the judiciary and that of the press, what do they share in common? What is it that share in common that is primarily meant to protect the interest of the common people of the society?
I told you earlier that the judiciary has a coercive power, that if you don't do this, I'll send you to jail, and if you don't do that, you go to jail. Or if you commit another offense and you are tried, convicted, you go to jail. But the social media has a damning effect.
Not just the social media, the media.
Okay, sorry, I have so much consideration on social media. Okay, now the media has a damning effect, but more importantly, the social media, they have a damning effect on airing people they want to harp on, or they call it dragging. They want to drag. So the judiciary is also aware of the fact that it has to control the media. Just the media is also aware that it has to be a watchdog on the judiciary. It was in all the days gone by that when you come to court they say journalists this side, this other person this side. Everybody is a journalist. Your eyeglass will be a camera. The Bible with which the lawyer records the proceedings in court is a camera. The Bible with which you put in your pocket here facing the judge is also a camera. So you will say, don't record me. The only thing you can say is calling the ones who will record you verbatim physically. But most importantly, that's also why there should be, it's like a check. Why the judiciary checks on the excess of the press also checks on the excess of the judiciary. So two of them, perform oversight function on each other. So the relationship is that of checks and balances. This one checks the other one, do balances the one, check the other one, balance the other one.
In their performances,
Yeah.
do they have such role as ensuring a constitutional principle of hearing the other side?
No. See, that of the press, checkmate on the judiciary is not codified. It's not by any law. It is just a happenstance that now started happening. Because there's no law where we say the press, the fourth extent of realm, one of your officers' function is to check the judiciary. It's not there.
It is in their fundamentalities.
No, ethics is not law. The ethics is not. It's just like you tell me it's a fundamental rights application or fundamental rights rules. Rules of court is not law of court. So if there is any law, I don't know, but I don't think there is any law that says the the media, one of the cardinal rules of the media under its creation, under the constitution, is that it has to check both the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. So if no such law exists, then that means the ability is now codified, to which extent if they don't check, they may be lacking in their duties. Check.
That is the section 20. You say hold accountable.
Good.
To hold accountable.
Fine. Now holding something accountable, well, to some extent, by broader interpretation, it will still mean checks and balances. Because when you hold someone accountable, you are checking the person. So, but then, the truth of the matter is that if you hold somebody accountable, how do you make that person you held accountable pay for whatever misdeed or misnomer you must have done? That is the underlying part of what I was talking about law. Because you might have the power to hold someone accountable. In police, under the Police Act, the act says whenever you see anybody committing offense in your presence, you have every right to get him arrested. And when you get him arrested, interrogate him, and if the court is within a radius of 1 kilometer, charge him to court within 24 hours. Now, there's a procedure already for the person being arrested. But the person you are holding accountable, maybe I am the chairman of NNPC and I have, embezzled $210 billion or naira. The press discovered it. They are holding us accountable by discovering it. They will put it down up in writing. They still need a third force like the police or EFCC, ICPC.
The executives.
The executive arm. That's what I'm saying. They still need a third force to make that the accountability which they had somebody to become effective, so that the person will take the right punishment or the right reward for whatever. Because it could be accountability on good ground, it could be accountability on deficit ground. So that's why I said I still want a little job on that of the accountability of public officers by the fourth estate of the realm. Like, let me give you an example. If you have codified that you have to hold people accountable, that is correct, that you hold them accountable. Now, if in the course of holding them accountable, you discovered maybe that they have performed so creditably well, you recommend them for promotion. Let us not always go to the bad side. As a pressman, you have recommended so officer for promotion. Now, the law should also provide that in the event of that officer seeking promotion, that evidence of that credible report of the press should be admissible in evidence as an exhibit. So once you make it admissible, it now has force of law. So that whoever you have held accountable, maybe on good ground, you give me a certificate of merit from the fourth estate of the realm. You will now hold it. The day they say come for promotion interview, you go and bring that your certificate. I say, not only that I am due for promotion, I have performed this, I have performed that, and even the fourth estate of the realm gave me a certificate of merit to tender it. If it's something that will send someone to jail, you also come there, you will get a certificate of condemnation And if they tender it against you by any law enforcement agent, it will also be admissible in evidence. And not to be saying, yes, who got this? How did he get it? What is his role? Or what is it? Or what is a local standard? You know, when law want to, set you free, they'll start asking people what is your local standard in what case you brought to court. So, but this time around, we have now codified the functions of the press and making them get people either accountable, possibly, or negative.
And you think it is supposed to be in a situation where the press is, agreed to be the fourth estate of the realm? That is to say, it must be codified in such a way, more defined in such a way, that whatever they hold accountable, whichever way, both negatively and positively, should be such that will be admissible in evidence.
Yes.
In a court of law.
So that's where I'm going, because if police now investigates you and writes police investigation report, that report is admissible in law, either for or against the person being arraigned. So if the fourth estate of realm has now been codified to be the fourth estate of realm, holding people accountable for whatever they do, they should also make sure that whoever they hold accountable have a document that should be tenderable in any court of law, either to praise or to.
But newspaper reports are certified sometimes and tendered as exhibits in court of law. And most often, some of these, based on the way it is and the way the report is, are admissible based on the provisions of the Evidence Act.
Yeah, but you know that newspaper reports, not everything in newspaper is written by a journalist. I hope you are aware. It's not every report, it's not every article in a newspaper is written by a journalist. There are ones that at least journalism should have a professional definition, that whoever must be a journalist must either be certified by Nigerian Bureau of Communication, blah blah blah. Just like if you want to be a lawyer, you must have to attend the Nigerian law school. No matter whatever university produced you, you must have to go to the Nigerian law school. If you're ready in Nigeria to do a 1-year procedural law program, if you read outside Nigeria, you come and do 2 bar exams, bar part 1 and bar part 2, and then get called to the bar by the Council of Legal Education. It's not the law school that's calling. The law school is just a school established by the Council of Legal Education. So if you certify the qualification of the school, they will still turn your name over to the Council of Legal Education. And if they certify you worthy in character and learning, they will admit you to the role of lawyers called to practice law.
I think most of these things are contained in the Press Act of Nigeria.
Well, I have not been very, very much abreast of the Press Act, but if it is contained, then people are not utilizing that provision, because I want that provision to be utilized so that the press will not only, recall that at a time, teachers produce all of us. And a teacher taught you, just like a teacher taught me, just like a teacher taught everybody in this TV room here. But you find out that it is one profession. You ask your students you are teaching, raise up your hands and tell me what you want to be after you graduate from this school. You will not tell you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or a press, or what, this and that. And they ask you, why don't you want to be a teacher? I say, no, God forbid. Now, I think it's going where I'm going. So now teachers now have to look for a way to professionalize their profession. And that was why the Teacher Registration Council was established, redefined, re-established, and recodified. Now, to become a teacher worth earning your pay, you must have to be registered by the Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria. And to do that, you must have a certificate in education. Now, gradually, like it's happening in Burkina Faso now, teachers earn because of the salaries. It depends on who is at the head and having the political will. So I'm talking about professionalization. When we professionalize, a given profession, make it a profession that is worthy of its name. Journalism has been the crave of a lot of people, especially when we were growing up. But the thing is that when you now look at the way some of them now do the job of journalism, you now ask yourself, But it was in the course of this early 90s that I started hearing about junk journalism or junk press or junk anything. So it is good. In every profession, there's profession don't have junks. So if, for instance, the journalist is in the what we call the law creating that fourth estate of the if it is codified and they walk through that, everybody will see it, not only that is in the paper but manifestly done. So at any time you do anything, you see it in public, you see it physical. Because if you get judgment in court, you go home and celebrate. If you get adverse judgment, you also go home and regret and appeal. So it is physical things you have to experience.
Okay. So the accountability in the media work must be such that will be codified and be admissible in evidence, and that will go to strengthen a lot of things in the Nigerian society. So says our guest on this program. We're still on Aneke TV, Enugu, Southeast Nigeria, and our topic is judiciary and the press as the last hope of the common man. We are going to pause here for a commercial, after which we'll come back and start our program. Our guest is still here. Please don't go away.
Join us on Arena, Aneke TV's premium current affairs program, where politics, development and governance come alive. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we host top professionals and thought leaders who speak their minds on issues shaping Nigeria and the world. It's inclusive, enriching and absolutely captivating.
The roadmap is, let's have our environment secured so that investors can come.
If you don't know what economic security is, kidnapping will tell you what it is. You kidnap your person.
Customers are going to get these meters, and like we said, it's at no cost.
There are things that dialogue can handle. But when we leave it, we want to use a kinetic approach alone. We cannot.
For discussions that promise insight and deliver truth, stay tuned, stay informed, and keep watching Arena only on Aneke TV. You're welcome back to our program Arena on Aneke TV. The topic we are discussing is the judiciary and the press as the last hope of the common man. And today we have also Barrister Nnadume Ofokansi here, lending voice to this topic. He has spoken on a number of issues that will have to go in to give us a thought on the role of the judiciary and the role of the press in our society. And here I will move back to also. Yes, before we went on break, you discussed about codification of the accountability that is the primary responsibility of the media to be such that will be codified so as to become admissible in anything that is being done officially, both at the judicial level and at any other level. Today, we do not have such codification yet, but we believe that with time, such codification and professionalization of media practice will be effectively done. Now, I want to ask you, is the Nigerian judiciary up to its billing, given some of the things that happen in our courts and the decisions thereof?
Well, Rex, there's no nation that does not have its ups and downs. There was a time Rome was the conqueror of every empire, including ruling Britain. At the time Rome fizzled out, Britain took off the mantle. Britain, France, they colonized Africa, balkanized Africa. When they went to the partition and the scramble of Africa, they ruled many of our city-states for over 20-30 years before they gave them what they call spherical independence. Why I gave this reference is that every country has its institutions. There were the Eldorado days of the Nigerian judiciary. You see, when we were growing up as undergraduate law students at University of Nigeria, when you read judgments of the Supreme Court judge, some of the Supreme Court judges, you hear many of the Yoruba names I cannot remember, but many of them are there. But I still remember vividly judgments of Oputa, judgments of Nemeka Ago, judgments of Agoro, judgments of Caribbean White. I think Caribbean White is from South. And of recent, you hear of people like Nikitobi of yesterday.
Okay, yesterday.
Yeah. Let me do Nikitobi of the 2000. I'm talking of people of yesteryears. But Nikitobi actually told the line. And even based on who stopped here at the Court of Appeal, there are judgments you read, you will start wondering whether it is the same mental acuity that God gave you that He gave this person who wrote this judgment. Because you read it as if it's something somebody packaged from the blues or from the sky and threw down to earth. But today, you can see, that's why I said the Eldorado days of the judiciary is gone. But all hopes on judiciary is also not lost. All hopes are not lost because there are still younger judges who are coming up, because we know they will definitely come up. But not like chief judges or chief justice of Nigeria, like the types of Tanko. There are very many of judges, chief justices you just bring up to the table, you shudder. But as to whether judiciary is living up to its billing today, no. We are not. Why? Why is because I said every society produces its own institutions. Before, for you to become a judge, it is when they go for their judges conference, whether at the state level, at the zonal level, at the national level, they will be discussing. I saw Rex has been appearing before me, and the way he packages himself, the way he presents his cases, the way he argues them, it doesn't even a matter of winning a case or losing a case. But the comportment you have, the judges are watching you just like you are also watching them. They say it is like time for this man to come over to the bench. They will somebody, they give you a form, if you make your application normally. There are people that will be approached, they say no, they don't want bench, they don't want to be judges, or don't want to be a judge. But today, what is the difference? If judges are to be appointed now, it's the same agency that controls judges. They will advertise it, maybe in 1 or 2 newspapers, send it to all the bar branches. Now, the governor will bring his candidates. Speaker of the House of Assembly or House of Reps will bring his candidates. The chairman, the ruling party will bring his candidates. Name them. The traditional rulers chairman will bring his, the sultan will bring his own candidate. Every manner of shade of human being will bring their candidates. And we will now tell NJC to appoint the people judges. Now, nobody had that opportunity to watch the temerity of the now prospective judge as a lawyer, where he was a lawyer in the field. Now we also find out that the same thing with my senior appointment. And the worst thing now is that it is also even pervading into the elevation to the rank of senior advocate. It is now when your father is a senior advocate, you find out that the course is clearer for you than somebody whose father is not a senior advocate. The reason, your father has had a lot of cases that are moved you to the Supreme Court. But besides that, when the privilege committee sits, it is still the senior advocate that will sit in the privilege committee and then decide who to be elevated and who not to be elevated. And if you are, US is a senior advocate and your son is over 10 years post-court, has appeared in Supreme Court, has appeared in Court of Appeal, has appeared in High Court, and you can afford to pay for the form of your son, or your son can afford to pay for himself, what stops you from putting a name forward? So that same thing now also pervaded the bench and the bar. So you now find out that there are judges will give one judgment here in Enugu Court of Appeal. Abuja Court of Appeal will give you a different judgment on the same subject matter. I don't know what the conflicting judgments. You might also move the thing to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will even forget the one they have given before and give a new judgment that contradicted the one they gave earlier. So far so good. When they do such a thing, the latest one prevails. But that's what the law is. If they contradict themselves, the last one is the one you are going to take. But is it normal for them to contradict themselves? No. If it were the people who the judges has looked at as a practicing lawyer and said, we will bring this man up, they know his worth because he has appeared before them. But many of them will be appointed judges now. If you ask any of the judges in practice, sitting judges, do you know any of these people? They'll tell you don't know them. Because they have no opportunity to interact with them. Besides that, they have been not appointed and they're brought to the bench and all of them becomes judges. Though it doesn't mean that every person appointed that way is a moron. No. There are judges that are appointed that same way that also are what
distinguish themselves.
Because we appear before them, we see them, we read their judgments, we know the kind of judgments they give, and if you see a sound judgment, take it to the blues. Nobody can change it. I don't want to call judges names here because there are judges here. You after reading their judgment, there is no problem. If you are not going to appeal, if you go to court, they will uphold it. You go to Supreme Court, they will still uphold it. They had about like judgment in Canada,
because of the kind of judgment that come out.
And many of judges here that give such judgments many of them that give such judgments majority of them are ones that have done private practice, who have been in private practice before. Exceptional ones also who have worked in government agencies that they, but I don't regard somebody working in the Ministry of Justice as government agents because they're also practicing lawyers. If you work in the ministry, you'll be going to court every day. So you're as good as a lawyer in the street. I'm talking of maybe a lawyer who is in the Ministry of Agriculture, legal unit, Ministry of Agriculture, or a lawyer who is legal unit of Trade and Commerce. But for those of them in the Ministry of Justice, they are as active lawyers as lawyers who are in private practice.
So in the case of the press, have they actually lived up to their billings? Because with the emergence of the social media, it has been garbage in, garbage out. The traditional media, I do not know if they have taken over the media space so that the garbage in, garbage out will no longer dominate the news space.
But I said it earlier that the what do you call it? The media has proven to be one of the strongest institutions of state and private institutions we now have today. Because I see what I check is results. How did you get a result from this? If you go and complain like we are here now, maybe I cite an example of a case at hand. And that case at hand is just mere because I'm being asked a question. Because I've mentioned it here, somebody will read it up, to watch it up from Aneke TV tomorrow. He will scoop it up, use it and do content, and post it on Facebook. Another person will scoop it from that place, post it on Instagram. Just as many social media handles as possible. And before you know it, that person involved, your own close friends will start calling you. See, I will tell you, I'll give you one little example of something, two events that took place. You see, there is this boy that is always on social, and it's a content creator. I'm forgetting his name anyway. So he will come and ask you, he will see you with a woman. I say, okay, I think I know you. He said, which kind of question be that? I was like, but I know you now. You are married. He said, no, I'm not married. Why are you asking me that kind of rubbish question? He said, but I know you and I think I know your wife. You will not pretend as if he's calling your wife. I said, madam, good morning. I think I see your husband with a lady here in one hotel. I know he's your husband. Why are you asking me? I know him now. That time where would I do wedding? Where would I come do printing? With this guy in my office. Okay, so now I take a picture to show you that he's your husband. And you see now running away. So that thing has happened once. The man now brought array of talks, to handle the boy, because the thing went viral. His friends in UK were calling him, his friends in London were calling him, his friends in America were calling him. Who can carry you, expose you like this before the social media? Now, two things happened in that very content. One is that man must have learned a lesson tomorrow. If he's been so, how do I put it now, about carrying women to hotel, he will then become more cautious because he's a married man. Two is that the social content creator is also going to be very cautious of the type of people he pranks. Because there might be people he prank, they might come back to you, and then without even using the instrumental of the law, might handle you. I'll give you another example. Somebody was shot in Oka by the police, Anambra State here. The police reported that he was a cultist. The PPRO, Anambra State, said a cultist was shot. Now, in the body of the press release, he said the cultist was shot while trying to escape when police stormed their den. Lower third paragraph, he said, in a statement, it was the vigilante that handed over the cultists to us. In the last paragraph, he said, while he was being interrogated, he admitted being a member of Buccaneer. Now, you don't need to be a police investigator to know that this man has already faulted. One, he said the man was shot while trying to escape. He said he was handed over by vigilante. He now said again that they stormed their den. And he said that while he was being interrogated, he admitted. So if you interrogate somebody, if I'm interrogating, you'll be sitting down with me here. So you don't interrogate somebody in a moving vehicle. So exactly. So how did he now try to escape while he was being interrogated? Maybe he might be under some restraint while he's being interrogated. So this is why I said when this thing happened, some human rights activists took it off from there. The matter is still ongoing, so that's why I say it's a prejudice to discuss the outcome. But with the Police Service Commission and the Police High Command in Oka, these are the kind of things social media exposed, because the PPRO came on social media, granted a press conference. People started analyzing the press conference.
Okay. In all,
yes,
what are the problems of both estates of the realm, both the judiciary and the
normal Nigerian problem, corruption. The Nigerian problem, that is corruption. Nigeria has one of the best cream of intellectuals any part of the world can produce. Become sick today, fly yourself to Kentucky tomorrow for treatment. The doctor that will attend to you will be a Nigerian doctor. There you have flown to Kentucky. You go take any press man on a foreign mission to cover Nigerian foreign mission anywhere. Go and check the standard of reporting. It is top notch, second to none. But here in Nigeria, once you come here, the brown envelope kills the journalists. Just as the brown envelope also kills the judiciary. So that brown envelope syndrome is our problem.
The brown envelope syndrome is the problem of both the state of the realm, the judiciary and the press. This is the much we can take from this program on Arena, Aneke TV, Southeast Nigeria. We want to thank you, also Ofokansi, for being here.
Thank you very much. Also Naduma Ofokansi.
We want all in full. Naduma Ofokansi. And the great farmer too.
I'm a farmer, I do that.
So thank you for being with us. Always be on Aneke TV.
My pleasure as always.
Don't study that. Be with us same time next time.
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Corruption in Nigeria is not limited to isolated scandals. It is systemic, deeply embedded, and sector-specific, affecting critical areas of governance, particularly oil and gas, power, the judiciary, and local government administration. These sectors highlight how weak oversight, institutional fragility, and accountability gaps continue to constrain national development. Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the backbone of the national economy, remains highly vulnerable to corruption. Despite contributing the largest share of government revenue and foreign exchange earnings, the sector faces challenges of opaque accountability, weak audits, and repeated allegations of under-remittance. Independent investigations into the period between 2011 and 2017 uncovered unresolved revenue discrepancies running into tens of billions of dollars. Crude oil sales, fuel subsidy claims, and joint venture arrangements have been particular areas of concern, while reforms like the commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Petroleum Industry Act were designed to improve transparency, implementation gaps persist. Recent international asset recoveries, including over $50 million repatriated from the United States, illustrates the scale of past governance failures and the slow pace of accountability. The power sector also reflects the impact of weak governance on economic and social development. Since 1999, Nigeria has reportedly spent over $16 billion on interventions in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. Yet, supply remains unreliable for a population exceeding 200 million. Audits indicate contract inflation, poor project supervision, and regulatory uncertainty as major challenges. Debt within the gas-to-power value chain has forced government bailouts and emergency payment to suppliers. Recent steps, including settlement of legacy gas debts, aim to stabilize the sector. But experts warn that without transparent procurement, stronger regulation, and disciplined subsidy management, energy insecurity will persist. The judiciary is critical in enforcing anti-corruption laws, but public confidence remains low. Surveys conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime show that judicial officers receive some of the highest average bribe payments among public officials. Perception studies consistently rank the judiciary among the most corrupt institutions, particularly in politically sensitive or high-value cases. Prolonged trials, frequent adjournments, and the procedural loopholes contribute to public skepticism. Legal analysts argue that stronger judicial discipline, improved remuneration, and institutional safeguards are essential to restore credibility. At the local government level, corruption directly affects citizens' daily lives. councils responsible for primary health care, education, sanitation, and rural infrastructure are often cited in surveys for routine bribery and mismanagement. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that more than half of Nigerians interacting with public officials encounter demands for unofficial payments, particularly in local administration, policing, and utilities. Weak financial autonomy, political interference, and limited oversight exacerbate these problems, reinforcing distrust in government. Across all sectors, corruption thrives where institutions are weak. Oversight is limited and consequences are uncertain. While anti-corruption agencies report thousands of convictions and hundreds of millions of dollars in asset recoveries, experts stress that enforcement alone cannot fix systemic issues. Economic studies estimate that corruption costs Nigeria billions of dollars annually and could erode up to 37% of GDP by 2030 if reforms stall. Beyond economic loss, it undermines service delivery, widens inequality, and weakens democratic legitimacy. Policy analysts now advocate for a governance-first approach, strengthening institutions, ensuring transparency in public finance, digitizing service delivery, protecting whistleblowers, and guaranteeing judicial independence. For Nigeria, the challenge is no longer diagnosing corruption, but sustaining the political will to reform the systems that allow it to persist. In a country facing economic pressure, security challenges, and rising public expectations, governance reform remains central, not optional, to national progress.
In a world that never stands still, where stories break in seconds and moments shape history, one station keeps you connected to your nation, to the continent, to the world.
From breaking news to powerful stories, from business and politics to culture, lifestyle and entertainment, we inform, we inspire, we keep you ahead.
This is more than television. This is your window to everywhere that matters.
Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Dear woman, this is a safe space for you to feel seen, heard, and acknowledged. My name is Chidima Asoba, and I'm your companion on this journey of being a woman. Happy International Women's Day to you. I know this is not the International Women's Day, but we are basking in the euphoria of the feeling and all the messages and the wishes and everything that we got this International Women's Day. And I know that we're wishing ourselves Happy International Women's Day, posting, doing this, doing that. Also comes the feeling of, oh my God, every other person is doing better than me. Oh my God, these people they've left me. I'm late in the game. I'm behind. I realize that, which is why we are talking about feeling left behind as a topic this week. Most times as women, we often think that we are left behind, we are late in the game, that people are doing better than us. So let's just define this. That feeling of being left behind is actually a situation whereby you think that the people that you're supposed to be in the same bracket with or as are doing better off than you, or are excelling at what they do better than you do. We talk about people in the same age category as you. We talk about people that are in the same line of work as you, your colleagues, your neighbors, your friends, sometimes even your siblings, right? You feel like they are doing better off than you are. They are doing better in life than you are. It's just that feeling. And something about feeling is that feeling is usually subjective. Feelings are not really the truth of a situation, of how something is, or the truth of something. It's just how that thing makes us feel. Because you feel like you're left behind, because you feel like people that you think you are them are in the same category should be are doing better than you, it doesn't really mean that they are doing better than you. I don't know if you understand. It's just a feeling, just the way you are seeing it. It's like me looking at a color and like, oh my god, this looks like pink. No, this looks like peach. Oh no, this looks like pink. This looks like baby pink. Oh no, this looks like light pink. You know, that kind of thing. You're just there saying it looks like this. Someone else might look from another side and they are still contemplating the same thing. You know, that's just it. So let's talk about examples of like what could make you feel this type of way. Sometimes you feel like, for us ladies, usually like, oh, every other person is getting married and I'm not married. They're having kids and I don't have kids. They are doing this and they are starting their business. They are starting that job. They are selling in their career. They have so many customers. They have so many days. I'm not doing this. Their husbands are doing this. Their kids are doing this. My kids are not doing this. You know, that's how for us women it is. And I myself am not left behind from this sort of feeling. I remember having a conversation with my friend a few months back, and she was telling me how she got a property in her name. And I was like, oh my god. So my age mates now have properties in their names, and I'm here. Hey, oh more. I've been left behind, oh. And I'm serious. This was how I said it. This was how I felt about it. I was like, I've been left behind, oh. God, what kind of thing is this now? And we often just talk to God because we're like, God, why will you allow this sort of thing to happen to us? Why are we the ones left behind? Okay, so it varies. It has so many ways that it can happen. Sometimes it's your siblings. Maybe one person is getting a job, one person is starting a new endeavor, one person is doing this, one person is doing that, and you're just feeling like you're not doing any one. You know, nothing. You get. These are how it happens. Let's talk about the reasons why this thing happens. The number one reason why it happens is comparison, whereby you're just looking at your life and looking at that person's life, and you're constantly comparing and contrasting. Oh, this person has these beautiful dresses. They're always wearing these beautiful dresses. Oh, I don't. Oh, this person just started this new thing. Oh, I've not. Oh, this person just got married. Oh, I've not. Oh, this person's marriage look better than mine. Oh, mine look like a poor person's marriage. Oh, that person's look like a big person's marriage. Like, it just comes from comparing the nitty-gritty of the person's life with your own. And social media is not making this any better for us. Social media is not helping the case, because social media just puts people's life in your faces, and it does not ask you, are you ready? Do you want to see? Do you want to just plaster it in your face? And one thing we face to realize is that people only show the best part of their self on social media. People only show the best part. For instance, imagine if I had come here putting on my nightwears or putting on my regular house outfit. You know, I'm not bringing my best self. I might not be bringing my best 100% self here right now, but I'm put together. I have my earrings. You will not see me not putting on my earring, or at least looking tattered. I will not look that way. I might not be bringing my best self, but you will not see me looking tattered. So that's just what social media is. People bring their best foot forward on social media. They're only showing you the best part. Let's use a business owner for example. Now, a business owner might most probably post the sales they've made. You know, they might even post sales that they made last 2 months or even last month, but they will not tell you that sales was done last 2 months. They will just put it down and make it seem like someone paid for this goods right now. Because you don't know, you will sit and you're like, oh God, this person's business is moving and my own is not moving. It's not really reality. That person is just putting their best foot forward. That's what social media is. And social media is like grass. The grass always looks greener on the other side. Just because you look at it and you're like, oh my God, that grass there, oh, it's really green. That doesn't mean it's that green. You might look it, but it's not it. So comparison is the chief pusher for you to keep feeling like you are left behind, comparing your life with those of others. The next thing, and this point might be a bit controversial, is the feeling of ambitiousness. Like, if you're an ambitious person, you tend to feel like you are left behind, and I'll tell you why. When you're an ambitious person, you probably have set goals for yourself. You probably have told yourself the things that you're going to achieve at a certain age, at a certain time in your life. And the moment that you don't achieve those things, it tends to make you feel like, oh my God, every other person is doing better than me, because you have not achieved the goals that you set for yourself. And people will be like, being ambitious is good. Yes, being ambitious is a good thing, but sometimes it can lead you to being so hard on yourself and feel like every other person around you is doing better than you if you are not meeting up with the ambitious goals that you set for yourself. And if you see yourself not doing those things or not being able to achieve those things, but yet people that you look at by your side, you see them achieving those goals. And that thing that could cause this is societal pressure. We live in a world where the society is constantly pressuring you, that there's nothing you can do that will please the society. If you're a single lady, they're probably asking you, when are you getting married? If you're married, they're probably asking, when are you having kids? If you have one child, they're probably asking, when is the next coming? And if you're in school, they're asking, when are you finishing? Or when are you getting a job? When you get a job, they're asking when you're getting a better one, or when you're getting a promotion, or when you're furthering your studies. There's always the next milestone, the pressure to achieve the next milestone in our society. When you do one thing, they are pressuring you to do the next and keep doing, showing up like that. They want you to always beat the record of what you have done. If you have done this now, you have to exceed it. You understand? And it kind of, pressures us to want to do more and to want to show up better just because of societal pressure. Imagine, just for instance, that someone is like, okay, dear woman, you dear woman, oh yes, Chidima, so yes, you're doing dear woman on Aneke TV, right? Yes, okay. When are you actually going to form a community? When are you going to form a community of girls where you guys you empower ladies, things like that? And maybe I give the person an answer. The next thing the person is going to be like, oh, you speak on Aneke TV, you have a community. When are you going to start doing physical conferences? When are you starting talking to people in person? When are you going to start attending events and speak to women? Things like this just comes up. Things like this just comes up. And it's often because, that the society is putting a pressure, they're putting a milestone that they want you to achieve after the one you have achieved. Things like this. Just like, for instance, when you have a baby, people are asking, when are you're going to snap back? You need to snap back. You need to snap back. They don't really care to know what you're going through or how the thing is happening. They just want you to snap back. There's always a milestone. There's always a pinpoint where people want you to exceed what you have done previously and do better. That is the societal pressure we're talking about. The fourth thing that often causes feelings like this is, aside from societal pressure, aside from comparing your life, and aside from being ambitious, the fourth thing that causes you to feel like you are left behind is sometimes the feeling of, not the feeling, when you don't have anything doing, when you don't have anything doing, maybe you're out of a job, you're not, business is not going the way it should, you don't have your hands on something at this particular point in time. It often makes you feel like you are left behind because, they said an idle mind is the devil's workshop. The moment you're not doing anything, you're constantly looking over there and thinking, oh, this person is doing better than me. Oh, this person does this, that, those kind of things, just because you don't have something doing. Imagine, let's say that you wake up in the morning and you have a job that you have to go to, and when you're done from that job, you have a side job that you have to do, and then you're done with that side job, you still have to take care of yourself, you still have to do your skincare, you still have to do this, do that, pick out what to wear the next day, you're trying to lose weight, you have to think of meals to eat. You have so many things on your list, on your to-do list, that you don't have time to constantly compare your life with those other persons. Unlike someone that does not have anything doing. If I don't have anything doing, I'll probably just sit down and be scrolling on my phone, and when I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm looking at this person's life, oh, that my friend, oh, that girl is in Canada, hey, she's doing her masters, hey, and that girl knows no book, oh, that girl is a dummy, so that kind of thing. Or that girl, I think I'm better than her, and she's in Canada, she's doing her masters. Is usually steps of not having a lot on your plate to do. So these are the reasons why this tends to happen. And if you're feeling this way, I'm also going to drop a few points that will help you navigate this feeling of being stuck. Like I said, it's something I've experienced, and it's something that is constant as human beings that we are. You're definitely going to feel stuck at some point in your life. Even the person that is at the pinnacle will also be looking at another person at another pinnacle and wishing they could supersede that person. Just how life is. If you're feeling this way, one of the things that has personally helped me, that I believe is going to help you, is practicing gratitude. Sometimes I just wake up and I'm like, oh God, I thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for even making it possible for me to be at the age where I am right now. Thank you for all the things that I know. Thank you for the life of my husband. Thank you for the husband that you have given to me. Thank you for my daughter. Thank you for the daughter you have given to me. Thank you for my parents and my siblings. Thank you that you gave me the kind of siblings that you gave me and the kind of parents that you gave me. Thank you for my job at Aneke TV. Oh God, little things, you start appreciating them. Sometimes I even go as far as I'm like, okay, God, I thank you for the kind of this one is funny. But I go as far as saying, oh God, I thank you for the brain that you have given me and the kind of head that you have given me, the kind of face that you have given me. I know it just feels like it's obsessive. But when you start thanking for these little things, you find yourself laughing, you find yourself happy, and those comparison goes to the back. Sometimes I'm like, thank God for the shape that you have given me. Just because of the shape you have given me, I wear clothes and they look really pretty on me. You see, you just start laughing and you forget what has happened. When you practice the feeling of gratitude, you tend to bring the little things that have skipped your mind or you feel that you have no reason to be grateful for. It brings it to the forefront and you see just how lucky you are to have the things that you have and have the people that you have in your life. Those things that you normally look at and it does not make sense to you before. When you practice gratitude, you just learn to appreciate those things. So I really practice the act of gratitude. The next thing is understanding that there are times and there are seasons. This has really helped me. There are times and there are seasons, because there are times when I remember when I just had my baby and I wanted to bounce back and just start my business, pick up like I never left. And I tried, but I couldn't. And I was just feeling kind of bad. But then I just told myself that this season I'm in is a season of nurturing. I'm nurturing a human being and I'm trying to, I'm navigating this new role that I've never been in. I don't have an experience in. It's just a first time for me. So yeah, I get to give myself grace. When you give yourself grace and you understand there are times and seasons, let me put this in the broader sense. There are times, just like plantings, just like if you're a farmer, so it is with life. There are seasons when there's nothing going on. The farm is just there. The farm is just there. Nothing is actually happening. You can't do anything. It's not raining. You don't have water. You don't have irrigation. Nothing. You can't do anything. And then there are now the season where you start cutting the grasses. And then there are the seasons where you start, after cutting the grasses, you're like, okay, it's now time to put the manure on the land. Or it's not time to start farming. Or it's not time to start planting. Or it grows. Or you nurture it. Okay, now it's time to start harvesting, clear the grasses. I'm not following it step by step on how the farming process goes, but I'm just telling you that the way farming is, so is life. There are times when you just have to start cutting the grasses in your life. Start removing things, start doing this, doing that. And then there are times when you start planting. And when you're planting, nobody sees that you are planting. Nobody sees the fruit of sees it until it germinates, it fertilizes, everything now works out. You are seeing the fruit. People can now see the fruit of your labor and see that, okay, during those times this person was working on this. It's just like, let's say for instance, somebody does their housewarming and they invite you for their housewarming. You probably didn't see the time when they started saving. You didn't see the time when they started doing anything. You didn't even know that they bought a land. You didn't even know when they started building until the building was done and furnished and they invited you for their housewarming. So you'll be shocked. So such is life. I just know that there are times and there are seasons, and I tend to appreciate those times and seasons and choose to understand that I'm in the season for this and I'm in the season for that. Now let me just bring it home again for us ladies. There was a time frame that I was in, and I think that was when I was in school also. And my focus back then was just gaining knowledge, gaining as much knowledge as I could. I would pick up any book and read. I'll pick up as much book. Like I read a lot. I was a voracious reader at that time. I read a lot and I prayed a lot. And at that time, I would see people doing something and I would tell myself that this is my season of just gathering this knowledge. I didn't know why, but now I don't have that time to pick up books. But because of what I've read previously, I've developed a sense of emotional intelligence. I've developed a sense of grit when it comes to prayer. I've developed a sense of spiritual understanding because of a habit that I built years back. Now let's use, for instance, presently maybe let's say that I saw someone that I love her style, dresses very nice, and person looks like this particular actress online. I don't know her name, Nelly something. I don't know her surname, but her first name is Nelly. She's an actress, but then she has delved into business, and I think she even did a conference of becoming her in Lagos sometime. And I'm just giving you a background, but this lady's style is amazing. Like her fashion sense, oh my god. So I think I even commented on one of her posts. I was like, I can't wait for you. I just wish you asked me to come and raid your wardrobe. It will be the happiest day. Just ask me to raid your wardrobe, because this girl's fashion is. But then, instead of me to carry myself and say, oh, Nelly has these beautiful pieces and I don't. No, I'm like, this is not my season to. It's not like you will not look good, but that extra step and extra mile that you go to look really fashionable. I told myself that this year is not, my focus is not on looking that fashionable. If I see pieces that I like and I get, fine, but it's not my focus. I have other things I'm focusing on. That is it. Times and seasons. That's just it. That is basically times and seasons. When you want to compare, remember that you are in this space of life. The next thing that actually helps with this feeling of comparison, chizaram, because me change the door. The next thing that helps with this feeling of comparison for me is having or defining what success means to me. Success means a lot of different things to different people, and in as much as I would love to do this, love to do that, I ask myself, what does success mean to me? What would be my happy state? What would happen and make me happy? Not what will make others happy, what will make Chidinma happy. And when I define what that is to me, when people are busy doing all those other things I said I liked, and it gets to my head, I'm like, oh my god, they are doing better. I'm like, go back. What is success to you again? Oh yes, success is this and success is that. For me, okay, yes, I'm actually living in my success right now. Oh god, I'm happy. These are the extras, and I would wish I would attain these extras, and I pray that I attain those extras. But right now, I'm living in my definition of success. I'm living in my definition of happiness. So these are things that has helped me define what success and happiness means to you, and know what your add-ons are. Just like when you order ice cream, you have your basic flavors, your vanilla or your strawberry flavor, and then there are add-ons. There are this what do they call it? The sprinkles, the cashew nuts, the chocolate chips. There are all those add-ons to your ice cream when you order. Know what your base flavor is, what that is for you, what success is for you, what happiness is for you, and what the add-ons are. You can have your ice cream without add-ons, though the add-ons make your ice cream extra sweet and extra special. But even without those add-ons, you can enjoy life. You understand? Yeah. So this is what helps me. The next thing that helps me is prayer. The Bible says that you should come to God with all your supplications and He's going to do it for you. Now, when I bring all those my add-ons, I carry them to God in prayer, and I'm like, oh God, Jesus, I love what you are doing for me. Like, I love this, I love that. But God, I wouldn't mind if you can add these extra ones. It just make life make extra sense. That's really how I talk to God sometimes when I want to cute him into doing something for me. I just talk to him like I'm talking to a friend. So that helps. The last thing that I will tell you that would help if you start feeling like you have to compare, or you start comparing your life to that of another person. Remember that just because these people are achieving this and are doing that doesn't mean it's always at the same. Now you can be like, oh my god, every other person has gotten married but I have not. I want you to remember that some of those people that are married, their husbands are beating them. Yeah. Remember that those people that are married, their life is frustrating. None of them are happy. And I'm not telling you to bash on somebody's happiness or think that people are not happy just because they are doing better than you. No. But the reality is, some people are doing better than you because you think they are doing better than you. But when you go into that thing that you think is their blessings, oh God, you take a step back. I know of some people that are married, they are driving big cars. You see them, their dress sense is on point, their skin is skinning, their hair is hairing, everything is on point, everything is looking good. But they don't have peace in their home. They don't have peace. Like, they and their husband, they can keep malice for 2 months, no make, and everybody they are throwing blows and punches. Like, when you come to the house, it's a house of blows, that busting ring. Their husband just cheats like a movie. God. There are so many things that are happening to them, and maybe if they should put you in that thing, you will not run mad, or if you don't run out of that marriage. So God is just keeping you, preparing you for a better thing, and you don't see it, so you are angry, or you are feeling like they are doing better than you. In business, I've come to understand that sometimes this thing just takes consistency. This and that thing that has helped me. The fact that things just takes consistency. Now, okay, I want to be the next Toke Makinwa of Nigeria. It just takes consistency. Though the Bible says that chance and luck happen to them all, maybe Toke Makinwa has some favor or opportunities that led her to be the Toke Makinwa that she is today, which is understandable because chance and luck happen to them all. But there are things that consistency can do for you. Even in business, there is just something that consistency does. If you show up every day in business for, let's say, 5 years, those other people that you're looking at, you're thinking they are doing better off than you are, you probably being the same way that they are. I don't mean you show up 3 months or 6 months in a year, and for the next 6 months you are off, and then the next year you're comparing yourself. Oh, I've been doing business since 2022, and the person started in 2023, and look at where they are, and look at where I am. They have been showing up consistently that 2023 up until 2026. You said in 2022, this 2026, but you have been going on intervals and breaks. You see, some things, consistency just happens to them. I remember seeing this lady on TikTok. I don't know her name, but there's something she said that got to me. She said there was a time in her life that she told herself that she needed change, and this change she needed it for something bigger. And for that year that she told herself that she needed change, she decided to, just put herself into her work, and she ended up writing 300 applications. Yes, 300 applications, and she got 299 no's and only 1 yes. And the yes that she got was the yes of them all, like their father. Let me just put it that way. It was their father. And I know that sometimes we say that people also come on social media and they lie. You can lie, it's good, but I'm taking what I want to take from that your story. Sometimes consistency is just what happens. Just keep trying, just keep pushing. And where others are, you will get there. Just like the Igbo, when someone that is running gets to, the person that is also working will get there. It might take a longer time, but you definitely get there. And in the spirit of International Women's Day, I want you to know that as a woman, there are so many things that could stop you from achieving your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your ambitions. Childbirth, can happen and it can disrupt everything. Ill health can happen and it can disrupt everything. There are circumstances beyond you. You can get scammed. You can be a victim of circumstances, and you just get stuck. And sometimes, don't forget, your village people can follow you like mad, and it just stops your success. There are so many things. So give yourself grace, and just know that you're strong, you're beautiful, and you have all it takes. I know they cap, I'm not joking. You have all it takes to do those things that you want to do, to achieve every single thing that you want to achieve. You have what it takes. Just give yourself time, give yourself grace, and don't forget, pray like no man's business. As my mom will tell you, pray when you are working, pray when you are walking, pray when you are resting, pray when you are watching TV, pray when you are pressing, pray. Just pray. And the moment you are praying, imagine how many billion people we have in this world. Keep hollering our Father. Holler him, and he will definitely answer you. And guess what? The rejected stone will be the chief cornerstone. Right. I love you guys, and thank you for watching. Let's just take our bowl of words. Let's spin it and see what we get before we end this episode. This episode has been really dear to me because from filming this episode, I felt like I was talking to myself at some point. And, I just hope it impacts you the way presenting this episode has impacted me as well. Okay, it says, I forgive myself for past mistakes and move forward with peace. Yes, sometimes the reason why people might be doing better than you, or you think they are doing better than you, is often because of past mistakes that you made, or information that you did not come across at that certain time in your life. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you have made, for those information that you don't know. Sometimes you are like, oh, I did not know that this is possible. Forgive yourself for those and move forward with peace. When you have peace within yourself, the sky is your starting point. Yes. Because when you are at peace, you tend to attract peaceful things. You tend to attract good things. Okay? I love you. I remember this is Aneke TV, Dear Woman on Aneke TV, showing every Wednesday and every Saturday. Subscribe, share this video to people around you and tell them to subscribe. Tell them to, watch Dear Woman. Dear Woman is the voice of wisdom. Yes, I said so. A friendly voice and a sisterly voice. That voice that we all need in our lives. And remember to drop your comments. Tell me how you feel you navigated when you feel like every other person is doing better than you are. I love you. Take care. Bye.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Across Nigeria, electricity has become an everyday struggle. Blackouts are no longer occasional, they are part of daily life for millions of Nigerians. In homes, families spend long hours in darkness. Parents worry about keeping food fresh. Children struggle to study. And the cost of running generators adds to household expenses in an already challenging economy. Businesses are also feeling the pinch. Shops, restaurants, and small factories often spend more on fuel for generators than they earn in daily revenue. Perishable goods spoil. Production slows. Evening sales decline. Electricity, which should be a basic necessity, has become a luxury. Experts say the crisis stems from multiple factors: technical failures and aging infrastructure in the national grid, frequent gas shortages, and operational inefficiencies in distribution companies all contribute. Maintenance outage and tariff adjustments have further reduced the supply of electricity across the country. The impact on national development is significant. Schools struggle to conduct evening classes. Hospitals depend heavily on generators to keep life-saving equipment running. Businesses lose revenue, and the cost of doing business rises. The lack of stable electricity slows economic growth and limits opportunities for millions of Nigerians. Experts recommend practical solutions: increasing electricity generation, especially through renewable sources like solar, wind, and hydro, could reduce reliance on gas. Upgrading and maintaining infrastructure, stabilizing gas supply, and encouraging private sector participation in independent power projects would help expand supply and improve efficiency. Off-grid solutions such as solar panels, mini-grids, and inverters can supplement national supply, ensuring homes, schools, and businesses continue to function during outages. Energy conservation, smart meters, and transparent billing systems can also reduce losses and encourage reliable supply. Some businesses have already combined solar power with backup generators, cutting fuel costs by nearly half. Schools and hospitals using mini grids continue operations even when the national grid fails. Expanding these solutions nationwide could significantly reduce the impact of blackouts, saving households money and boosting productivity. For now, Nigerians wait for a lasting solution. Stable and reliable electricity is not just convenience, it is the backbone of daily life, economic growth, and national development.
In an age of endless information, the true advantage is not access, it is interpretation. Welcome to Aneke TV, where journalism goes beyond headlines, beyond reaction, beyond speculation. Here, stories are investigated, issues are analyzed, voices are challenged, because an informed society is a stronger society. A discerning audience is a powerful audience. We are live. Daily broadcasting. Relentless clarity. Aneke TV, where knowledge meets broadcast.